We've got our power back. And it's nothing like what you would think. It's crazy. Hold on. Pause. You saw that fire that we had that was set right at the beginning of MacIver Park, and hundreds of campers had to leave. And then they said we were going to have horrible winds. We had another fire at the other end of that road. Well, you saw the fire. Yeah, it was real. And then they said they had to shut off more power and more power. Do you see the power over there? No, hardly anybody has power. We have power. Anyway, they said get ready for more firestorms to happen, and 60 to 70, even 90-mile-an-hour gust winds. I showed you that on the map yesterday, that there was a storm coming up the corridor. And no rain, and temperatures 100, 89, 90 to 100. What a bunch of crap. Politics. This was all political. Political. It blew out transformers. It blew out everybody's electronics. And even though we have surge protectors and EMP shields, we lost a $500 piece of equipment. The neighbor, their well equipment went out. That's going to cost them $6,000 to $7,000. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, 75 degrees. The weather map says it's 90. It is not 90 degrees. I'm cold. I'm freezing my butt off. I remember I showed you those trees that there were still no breeze, but yet they said we were having wind gusts at 30, 45, 55, 60, 70, even 90 miles an hour. It is so calm. It's spooky. And then they turned off power to 6 other districts. Several 100,000 people out of power. They turned the power off. And most of them are still not on. It's crazy. Anyway, we get to pay for it because even though we have EMP shields on most of our equipment, we have generator and surge protectors, it destroyed a lot of our electronics. Wow. And one neighbor, he's going to have to replace his well. Larry's, he's got his degree in biomedical and electronics engineering, so he knows what he's doing. And his well equipment is fried from a surge protector. And that's anywhere from 6,000 on up. So, why would they do this? Why? Why in Oregon, where we had a huge firestorm? And they said this storm was coming up from Southern California up, and it was being pushed and kept in the middle corridor, going straight right up to Portland, and that we were going to have this heat dome, the one that like we had 2 years ago that was 120 degrees. Yeah, I'm cold. Actually, 75 degrees isn't cold for us, but it is not hot. And it wasn't hot this afternoon. It has been 75 degrees the whole day. Let me show you some proof. Oh, and we heard a huge kaboom. They said it was lightning. That was not lightning. It shook all of Portland, all of East County, North County, West County. One lightning strike. Especially when there's nothing on radar. Nothing. That felt like it was coming from underneath. But I did not feel an earthquake. That came from below. And it lasted a long time. But it didn't shake the house. It made my ears rumble. But they're saying, oh, it was just one lightning strike. No, it lasted too long. And it didn't rumble. I know lightning. I'm going to have some Doritos and smoke me a doobie. This is the cloud and smoke map. I don't see any lightning. Nope. And why would lightning go from the east to the west and make a loud thunder 30, 40 miles sound? Around the sound traveled 30 or 40, 50 miles. I don't know. Ooh, now it says rain. 75 degrees. Any lightning? No. 72. Boy, they sure changed this. Tomorrow. After midnight, 65. 4 a.m. Just a minute. Oh, hi. Oh, yeah, it's going to be 78 degrees tomorrow. We shall see, but we were lied to. We were lied to.
About PGE's plans for potential power shutoffs in the hope of preventing wildfires. It has been a relatively light fire season so far, but now PGE and Pacific Power are both putting their power shutoff plans into action. The warnings for these power shutoffs last through tomorrow, meaning many people will be without power until Sunday, maybe even Monday evening. Let's take a look at who's affected. This is the PGE board showing the areas that are shut down now. So any of these colors that you see on the map shows where the power is out. So down in the south, Silver Falls City, also in the Silver Falls area, they are without power. Also in Scotts Mills there. As we go a little bit to the north here in Clackamas County, you can see Estacada, pretty much the whole town, Sandy, and also as we go here to Corbett. The wind is just howling down the gorge here, and so there's a big concern that this east wind is going to cause all kinds of havoc there. So these areas are shut down as well by PGE, and then of course the wind as it comes in, their concern is that it's going to hit the West Hills, and so that's why they've shut down a lot of the power in these neighborhoods around the Forest Heights area, and then going farther to the west, out here in the North Plains area, Banks and Manning, that's all shut off, and moving back to the south now in the Forest Grove area, down to Gaston and beyond, shut off as of 1 p.m. this afternoon. Here's the outage map for Pacific Power, which is much more geographically diverse than PGE, which is concentrated around the greater Portland area. Pacific Power goes all over the west. So down around Diamond Lake, you can see they have shut down the power now, and in many places along Highway 138. So this is far to the south in areas of Glide and Peel. Any brown on the map is where the power has been shut off for safety. As we come up now to the Sweet Home area, you can see there's a couple of areas in yellow. Those are areas that they're watching, and they may shut the power down, but they have not done it yet. This Cascadia, though, in the brown, that is shut down. and also part of the reservoir there, which is going to be disappointing for a lot of folks that I know that are trying to do a triathlon this weekend, tomorrow, right there. Hopefully that power will come back on, or they'll figure out a way to do it anyway. If you move up a little bit to the north, you can see that to the west of Lebanon and to the north, there's some more warning areas. And then if we go to the Santiam Canyon here with Niagara and Gates and Mill City, pretty much where those shutdowns are. Although if we come to the coast again, if we look to the west of Grand Ronde and then also into the Otis area, those are some more public power safety shutoffs from Pacific Power, trying to get ahead of these storms and the winds and not create any fire danger.
What storms? What winds?
This is a historic day for our area. The first time the power companies have shut off electricity in such a wide area to help prevent wildfires and images like the one you're seeing right here. As you might expect, the rollout was not perfect. Some of you got warnings that your power would turn off even though you're actually living outside the shut-off areas. Liz Morales lives northwest of Newburgh. She said she got 3 alerts yesterday and had to actually call customer service to figure out that she's living outside a planned cutoff area.
Okay, so I was reasonably assured I wasn't going to have a power outage, but just in case I watered everything, because as with most rural people that are in these areas, I'm on a well. I have a well pump.
Yep.
It's run by electricity.
We're on a well.
And if you have farm animals, you have pets, never mind the AC issue, water is kind of what it's about. I do have a generator, as many people do, but again, that's a whole nother thing of getting that started up. So it's no small thing to have a power outage. I'll just go to a hotel. No.
Can't.
So you don't want to alarm people unnecessarily, which is one of my points.
She found the planned shut-off maps put out by PGE were baffling at first. The colors did not match the directions, and the terms active or not active were confusing to her. She's critical of the effort now because all of these warnings are bringing up frightening memories of 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I have a little bit of PTSD from September 2020 because I was one road away from evacuation from the Chehalem mountain fire.
Yeah.
And that was terrifying.
We were
much more terrifying for the people who did have to evacuate, but for those of us who are on the cusp, having to go from room to room and figure out what can I get in my car, what do I need to take, and what am I willing to completely lose. So that heightened sensitivity makes me
I was panicked
both appreciate and be somewhat scathing of this effort.
Night before last when I saw that.
A lot of people probably have that heightened sensitivity. So how did we get here? To the point of having all these shutoffs? Well, it's all in the name of safety. In 2021, the Oregon legislature required power companies to identify high-risk areas of fire and establish plans in order to prevent those lines from sparking the fires. Before that bill was passed, PGE had only one high-risk fire zone in all of Oregon. It stretched from the town of Sandy east to Mount Hood. PGE shut down that power area during a hot windstorm of early September in 2020, and there were no fires in the area, so that plan worked. But to the south, the same hot windstorm fueled the massive Beachy Creek fire that claimed 5 lives, hundreds of structures, and thousands of acres of land. A class action lawsuit accused a second company, Pacific Power, of playing a role in the blaze, arguing some of its power lines added to the fire because Pacific Power did not shut down power in that area. But after the legislature took action last year, instead of PGE having one high-risk fire zone, they are now 10. You can see the various colors on this map. And Pacific Power generated similar maps, identifying 13 areas of high fire risk in yellow, including both rural and urban areas of Hood River, as well as the areas west and south of Medford.
50 total active outages. Customers affected. But I don't see any power in Estacada. That is all dark. So I don't know. Oh man. 99. Anyway, this is just crazy.